Guys, welcome back to my channel Dr. Kaina Jatoi. I hope you all are well and doing great. So guys, in today's lecture we are going to start the thoracic wall structures. So I'm going to talk about the thoracic wall structures. This video is very important, so you have to stay connected with me throughout the video because in today's lecture we are going to start the series related to the thoracic wall structures. So as you all know that, and as I described in the previous lectures, that thoracic wall is composed of some of the main structures. Like when we talk about the thoracic wall structure, we have to study like thoracic wall structure. So when we talk about the thoracic wall structures, we have to study some of the main structures, like as we all know that, like that posteriorly thoracic wall formed by the thoracic vertebra of the vertebral column. So when we talk about posteriorly relation, or we can say that posteriorly structure of thoracic wall, so we have to know about that posteriorly thoracic wall is formed by the thoracic part of the vertebral column. So thoracic part of the vertebral column. So posteriorly thoracic wall is formed by the posterior part of the thoracic, like thoracic part of the vertebral column. So it is a posterior formation of the thoracic wall. Then we talk about the anteriorly. So anteriorly it is formed by the sternum and costal cartilages. So when we talk about the anteriorly formation of the thoracic wall structures, so thoracic wall is anteriorly formed by the sternum and costal cartilages So posteriorly it is formed by the thoracic part of the vertebral column. Anteriorly it is formed by the sternum and costal cartilages. Okay, so these are the anterior formation and the posterior formation of the thoracic wall. Then we talk about laterally. So laterally it is formed by the ribs and intercostal spaces. Okay, so laterally it is formed by the ribs and the intercostal spaces. So here we are going to write laterally it is formed by ribs and intercostal spaces. Okay, so this is the posterior formation, this is anterior formation of the thoracic wall, and this is the lateral formations. Now the most important thing, superiorly it is formed by the suprapleural membrane. So superiorly it is formed by the suprapleural membrane. And when we talk about suprapleural, now we have to talk about inferiorly, because superiorly we know that it is formed by the suprapleural membrane. Okay, so superiorly it is covered by the suprapleural membrane. And now when we talk about inferiorly, so we have to know that inferiorly it is formed by the diaphragm, which separate the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. So which is the most important structure, like diaphragm. Diaphragm is most important structure of all these thoracic wall structures, because we have to know about all the relations, all the formations and all information like insertion, origins and structures which are going to be related to diaphragms, because diaphragm is the most important topic because diaphragm separates the thoracic cavity from the abdomen cavity, like thoracic cavity from the abdomen cavity. When we talk about the trunk, like I am going to add some important topic, like here when we study the trunk, like here when we tell here is the diaphragm is present, this is called the diaphragm. So all these structures are thoracic cavity, like thoracic cavity, and inside, like below the diaphragm, is the abdominal cavity. So diaphragm is going to separate the thoracic cavity from the abdomen cavity. So diaphragm is the most important, you can say that, structure of the thoracic wall, because it is going to separate inferiorly. It is present inferiorly through the thoracic wall because it is going to separate the abdominal cavity from the thoracic cavity. So all these structures are the most important structure of the thoracic wall. So when we are going to talk about the thoracic wall structure, and when we are going to talk about the how the thoracic wall is formed, so you know that posteriorly it is formed by the thoracic part of the vertebral column, anteriorly formed by the sternum and costal cartilages, laterally by the ribs and the intercostal spaces, and superiorly by the suprapulmonary membrane, inferiorly by the diaphragm. So this is the most important topic, and in today's lecture we are going to talk about sternum. So we are going to discuss the sternum in today's lectures. So when we start sternum, as we all know that it is the most anterior part of the sternum. Anteriorly, sternum and the costal cartilages are present. So today we are going to start our topic with the anterior structure. So anteriorly it is formed by the sternums, as and posteriorly from the thoracic wall. So today we are going to talk about the sternums. So here is the sternum. This is the diagram. You can say that this is the most important topic of the thoracic cavity, like thoracic wall. So anteriorly thoracic wall is formed by the sternum. So today we are going to start sternums. So when we talk about the sternum, actually sternum lies in the middle part or midline of the anterior chest walls. Like this is the anterior chest wall. So when we are talk about the anterior chest wall, we can say that anteriorly thoracic wall is formed by the sternum. So here is the, like, this is the midline, this is the midline. So in midline of the chest wall, midline of the anterior chest wall, sternum is present. It is a flat bone, okay, that can be divided into 3 bars. It can be divided into 3 parts. It is in the midline of the chest wall, the sternum is present, and it is divided into 3 parts. First part is the manubrum, second part is the body of the sternum, and third part is the Ziphioid process. So here, this is the all about the sternum. So when we talk about the thoracic wall structure, we can say that anteriorly thoracic wall is formed by the sternum and sternum and costal cartilages. So today we are going to talk about the sternum. Basically, when we know some point of the sternum, it is a flat bone. Okay, it is the flat bone present or lies in the midline, like present or lies in the midline of the anterior chest wall. So anterior chest wall present or lie in the midline of the anterior chest wall. Okay, consists of 3 parts. Number 1, manubrum. Second, body of sternum. And third and most important part is the Ziphioid process. Okay, all these are the parts of sternum. So in sternum, when we start talking about the sternum, we have to know that sternum is a flat bone. It lies in the mid part of the anterior chest wall. It is consists of 3 parts, like manubrum, body of sternum, and Ziphioid process. Okay, so now we are going to start about the manubrum. Actually, when we talk about the manubrum, like you can say that I'm going to firstly draw the rough structure of the sternum. This is the manubrum. Okay, and here is the body of sternum, and this is the Ziphioid process. Okay, so these are the 3 structure of sternum. So now we are going to start with the manubrum. Actually, manubrum is the upper part of the sternum. Okay, it articulates with the sternum by the manubro-sternal joint. So here the manubro-sternal joint is present. So here is the joint present, which is called the manubro-sternal joint. Okay, so here is the manubro-sternal joint. This is the body of sternum. So manubrum, you can say that inferiorly manubrum is joined by the manubro-sternal joint through the manubrosternal joint to the body of the sternum. So the junctions between the manubrums and the body of sternum, or the joint between the manubrum of body of sternum, is the manubrosternal joint, which join the manubrum with the sternum. Okay, and it also articulates with the clavicles and with the first costa cartilages and upper part of the second costa cartilages. So I am talking about that here is the manubrum. Okay, so all this structure is the manubrum. Okay, so inferiorly it is joined with the body of the sternum through manubrosternal joints. Here the sternal, and you can also say that here is the manubrosternal joint is present, which joins the body of manubrums with the manubrosternal with the body of the sternum. Okay, and it also gives the attachments for the clavicle, first costal cartilages and upper part of the second costal cartilages. So here is the jugular notch or facet for the clavicle is present, where the medial angle of the clavicle is attached to form the sternoclavicular joints. So these are the structures where the manubrums form the sternoclavicular notch, sternoclavicular joints. Okay, so here is the suprasternal notch and facet for the clavicle, where the clavicle is going to attach, and facet for the first costal cartilages, where the first costal cartilage is attached. So when we talk about the manubrum attachments, we can say that manubrums give attachment for the clavicle. So here it gives attachment for the clavicle, here it gives attachment for the first costal cartilage, and here is the manubrosternal joint is present, and here is give attachment for the second costal cartilage upper point. Okay, upper attachment to the second costal cartilages. So all these structures are related to the body of the manubrums. Then we talk about the body of sternums. Okay, when we talk about the body of sternums, the body of sternums articulates with the manubrum through the manubrosternal joint. As you all know that here the manubrosternal joint is present, body of the sternum attached with the manubrosternal joint. Okay, then we talk about body, and at the lower portion it is attached with the Ziegfeld process. Upper part of the body of sternum attached with the manubrum through the manubrosternal joint, and below body of the sternum is attached to the Ziegfeld process through the Ziegfeld joint. So here the Ziegfeld joint is present. Okay, so here when we talk about the body of sternum, so body of sternums articulates above with the manubrum at the manubrosternal joints, and below with the Ziegfeld process through the Ziegfeld joints, and each side is articulated with the second to 7 costal cartilages. So from body of sternums give attachments to second costal cartilage, third costal cartilage, fourth costal cartilage, fifth costal cartilage, sixth costal cartilage, and 7th costal cartilage. So from second to 7th costal cartilages are attached at body of sternum. So body of sternum basically give attachment to the costal cartilages from 2nd costal cartilage till 7th costal cartilages. Okay, then we talk about sternal angle. Sternal angles, because here the manubrosternal joint is also called the sternal angle. Okay, sternal angle or Lewis of angle is formed by the articulation of the manubrum with the body of the sternums. So here you can also say the angle of Lewis or sternal angle is also present. So basically sternal angle is the most important topic, or you can say the most important part of the sternum, because when we talk about the countings of the ribs, the point from where all the costocardial ribs are counted, because it's the transfer ridge lies at the level of the 2nd costal cartilage. This transfer ridge lies at the 2nd costal cartilage's points. So from here we are going to talk about when we are going to count the ribs. So we take these angles as a landmark. From here the ribs are going to be counted. So from here we start the counting of the ribs, and it supposedly lies from sternal angles lies opposite the intervertebral disc between the 4th and 5th thoracic vertebrae. So here is the most important topics when we talk about the body of sternal angles. So I'm going to talk